Дохуя там пушек, да, бля?
Пусть на переплавку повезут.
Unarmed, injured Russian soldiers are being used as meat probes to trample mines with their feet, according to a man who has recorded a video appealing for help. His commander tells the wounded, "You are not needed, cripples. Go and die." 52-year-old Private Alexander Alexievich Konev, serving with the 3rd Battalion of the 1008th Motorized Rifle Regiment, Military Unit 29297, says that despite having a medical exemption from service due to sickness or injury, his commander intends to send him to an assault. Konev is currently at a training ground awaiting a consultation with a neurologist and a military medical commission. Although he does not say what is wrong with him, the neurology appointment suggests a head or traumatic brain injury. Despite this, he says, his unit's deputy commander, call sign Azur, arrived at the training ground and refused to take his medical certificates into account. When asked directly that there were 2 previous assaults and a medal earned and no respect, he said, "I don't care. We don't need you sick. We need healthy people." Azur told Konev, "You can go without an assault rifle if you can't carry it, without a bulletproof vest. You are not needed, cripples. Go and die. Just like meat, like a probe. Walk ahead of everyone and search for mines with your feet, so to speak. You will go ahead of the sappers. Well, roughly speaking, to trample mines, to pave the way. You will die," he said. "You will die. Since you have no health, you are not needed." Konev's wife, Natalia, has confirmed the authenticity of the appeal and asked for help in distributing the video. She says that she has already sent complaints to the military authorities but has not yet received a response. There is already plenty of evidence from across the front lines in Ukraine of Russian soldiers on crutches, or even in wheelchairs, being sent into assaults, so it appears that this practice is quite likely to be widespread. Russian truckers film troops moving depreserved World War II howitzers somewhere. Guess everything's totally going according to plan for them.
Первый раз вижу, блядь, поезд, бля. Музей вечерний отбился, ребят. Дохуя там пушек, да, бля?
Пусть на переплавку повезут. Металла хорошего. Да, может, и на реконструкцию. Кто их знает, может, они еще в рабочем состоянии, когда подделают.
Pilots of the 3rd Assault Brigade striking at Russian troops and logistics, hitting them on the move and while hiding. A camouflaged, self-propelled gun, a tracked vehicle, and even a fleeing tank were taken out. In the forest, they spotted a Ural truck and neutralized a gun. In recent operations near Kreminna, drone teams from the 3rd Assault Brigade have been critical in disrupting Russian supply chains. Using first-person view drones equipped with high-explosive warheads, they successfully targeted enemy fuel convoys and frontline resupply points. Their rapid coordination with artillery units led to the destruction of 2 additional BMP infantry fighting vehicles attempting to reinforce Russian defensive positions. Beyond vehicle strikes, Ukrainian pilots are focusing on communication hubs. One key hit took out a mobile Russian command post hidden inside a tree line, severely impacting enemy coordination in the sector. Electronic warfare support has also been stepped up, helping to jam and confuse Russian reconnaissance drones trying to locate Ukrainian positions. The 3rd Assault Brigade's strikes form part of Ukraine's broader counteroffensive tactics in the Luhansk region. Quick, high-impact drone assaults combined with precision artillery are wearing down Russian defensive lines ahead of larger maneuvers planned for spring 2025. Despite bad weather and heavy electronic warfare interference, the brigade maintains operational tempo, striking targets with speed and accuracy, and showing that small, mobile Ukrainian units can keep the pressure high even in heavily contested zones. Russia launched ballistic missiles at Kyiv, causing fires in Darnitsky, Obolonsky, and Solomiansky districts. 3 people were injured, 2 of whom were hospitalized. In Sumy, 8 Shahed drones struck industrial sites, damaging administrative buildings, warehouses, and vehicles. Meanwhile, in Kupiansk, a Russian bomb hit a 9-story residential building, injuring 2 people. Putin doesn't care about the ceasefire. He just wants to terrorize Ukraine and force it to accept his terms. Unfortunately, he has 2 billionaires in Washington helping him out: thugs and racketeers. NATO also sees no signs of a truce on the battlefield. A senior NATO official warns that Russia continues to push for an advantage, increasing pressure on Ukraine's forces and exploiting deficits. We see no sign that Russia's goals in this war have changed. And the Black Sea truce is in name only as Russia fires Kalibr missiles. Russia's launch of sea-based Kalibr cruise missiles indicates that no ceasefire is currently in effect in the Black Sea, according to the Ukrainian Air Force. The Air Force reported that 8 Kalibr cruise missiles were launched from the Black Sea. 6 were intercepted by air defense systems. The launch constitutes a direct violation of agreements reached during U.S.-Russia talks in Riyadh on March 24, 2025. Following the talks, the administration of U.S. President Donald Trump said both sides had agreed to ensure safe navigation, avoid the use of force, and prevent commercial vessels from being used for military purposes in the Black Sea. However, the day after the meeting, Russia announced it would adhere to the ceasefire only if some sanctions were lifted. According to official statements, preconditions were not mentioned during the U.S.-Ukraine or U.S.-Russia negotiations. In particular, Russia reportedly demanded the removal of sanctions on Roselkazbank and other banks involved in agricultural exports, including reconnection to the SWIFT system companies that produce or export food and fertilizers and firms that ensure these shipments. Russian-flagged vessels transporting food and fertilizers and port services for these ships, supplies of agricultural equipment, and other goods related to food and fertilizer production. The proposed sanctions relief would require not only U.S. action, but also cooperation from EU countries, since the SWIFT system is headquartered in Belgium. As of April 4th, Russian forces were largely observing the ceasefire, according to Ukrainian Navy spokesperson Dmytro Pletenchuk. However, he noted that the primary condition, the end of strikes on civilian port infrastructure, had not been fulfilled. The coordinated missile and drone attack on April 6th, he added, suggests that any prior reduction in attacks was not part of a broader policy, but rather coincidental.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.